Want to on stolen land. Fuck all y'all. Fuck America.
Nice excuse. But you live on the stolen land.
Fuck you. You leave. It's not your fucking country. You came from Europe. All your fucking ancestors came from Europe.
Is it your country? Yeah. Is it your country then? Is it your country? So who should we give it to? So what should we do? Just burn it all down? So how about all the old poor black women and dying right now? How's it built? How's it built? So what do we do? What do we do?
We are children of Kush.
So where are we going? No. So where do we go? You get out of here. I know history. Where are we going? Yeah? Yeah? What? I'm not a nigga, so I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not a nigga, so I don't want to hear it. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. I'm never going to be called one. I'm African. I'm African. I can see. I know my heritage. You don't know what the hell I'm from. You don't know shit I'm from.
You go to Africa with that shirt on?
Yeah, I did 2 years ago. Shoot a movie. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. You don't know shit about my background. You know, I actually come from a king. Tell me, I come from a king. You don't have to hear me. Go read it. Go read it. Yeah, chicken butt. I've been there. You go there. I've been there. My family's there. What are you talking about? My family's there, homie. I'm talking to you too. You don't know. You don't know who I am.
You know what's named after a white man.
Okay, I'm from the continent that we try to get closer. So I'm from the continent. No, that's your facts. No, that's your facts. That's your facts. No, that's your facts. And where do you get it from? Tell me the book you get it from.
It is from the book of.
From what?
If you go over there and talk to the elders, they will tell you.
That's not. It's called. It's a book. It's called from a book called. If you go over there, they will ask me. I'm asking you. What's the? Give me the information.
Elder, somebody who has more
What's up, brother?
knowledge than me.
Give me. Then what's the information? Why do you trust? Why do you trust that? 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 But you can't give me anything. Hey, we are. Thank you.
I got people on that continent. I can say.
Yes, I do too. I didn't visit it. I'm from there, homie. My family's from there, brother.
Figure out your fucking roots.
I know. Oh yeah, you don't matter. But you're saying it, so it's true. It's out of your mouth, who's never been on Africa at all, but it's true. It's your mouth.
Fuck the name Africa.
You know them. Oh, you know them. Okay, I can call it my aunt, my cousin, my mom. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Oh, well, then it doesn't matter. So unless there's people, you know, that's the only thing that matters. That's the only truth. What are we talking about? What are we trying to do here? What are we trying to do?
We're trying to.
What's up there? Okay, so do you care about all the kids? Yeah. Okay, so
we don't hate you. We don't hate you.
What are you talking? Yeah. We hate racists too.
We love you.
We hate racists too. We hate racists too. We hate racists too.
We hate racists too, brother.
Hey, after what happened last week, my bad. Wait.
Support this country.
You got a good shot.
Wait. 38.
Support somebody who's steady calling a virus China virus.
It is from China. Do you support Joe Biden?
Wait, is that what you're worried about?
No, he's worse than you.
No, is that what you're worried about?
There we go.
Okay. But is that what you're worried? I know.
Spanish flu. Is that?
No, but you're worried. No, wait. You said you're worried about. Wait. You're worried about. Wait. Let me ask you a question.
That's racist too.
Let me ask you a question. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. You're worried about the guy that died last week. Where was all this when those 38 kids were killed in Chicago in July with the defund the police bullshit?
People die all the time.
No, people die all the time. You guys won't come out. You won't come out when babies die. But when a criminal gets shot, people. Now that's when you're gonna come out. 38 babies in July in Chicago. 38. Yes. Where are you at? I can show you faces.
No colors.
Yes, and I'm talking about it. What about who's killing those black babies? Who's killing those black? 10-month-old shot. 10-month-old shot around the corner of my
Trump.
Trump shot in the south side of Chicago. This shit started in 2010. This shit started in 2010.
It's on the news. He got kids. The Pope, all that shit. It's all
in 2010, Rahm Emanuel shut down 50 schools in the south side of Chicago. The following year, it was more murders in the south side of Chicago than New York and kids combined. So what do you mean am I talking about kids? That matters to me. Why does that matter to you?
All of it matters.
Yeah, so why are we burning shit down for one guy, but 38?
I have to go higher.
Yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I haven't seen nothing yet. Why are you threatening this stuff?
No.
What's the point for what? Do you want to live in garbage? Do you want to live in garbage? Yeah, why would you do that?
One more. They got one more time to kill a black person.
Okay, wait.
I'm gonna do it early.
Okay,
I'm gonna do it early.
All right, what about? Do you know George Parker?
I'm gonna do it early.
Do you know George Parker? Do you know George Parker? George Parker. Yeah. George Parker. Here, guys. Here's some news. George Parker. He was killed. No one knows about him. Let me see here. Leslie King. No one knows. All this Chicago. Wait a minute. Where's LeBron? Look, Ronell Durr. He was 21. Wait a second. Oh, no one's talking about him, right? David Strunk. What? How come we're not talking about him? He's 30 years old. How are we talking about Aaron Moore? Huh? That was the Chicago. All July. What we got? Oh my God. This is 17-year-old Anderson. Let me see what else. Oh, we got a 16-year-old. I can't say his first name, but he's the last name Anderson. 16 years old. No, where were you guys? Oh, nowhere. 19-year-old Ambrose. That's me. Look at Ambrose. 15 years old Ambrose. Nothing. All July. What else we got? 18-year-olds Antonio. Nothing. We didn't see you guys there. Anything. Wait a minute. Who else? Oh, wait. We got Alvarado. 16. See, all July. 16-year-old. Wait a minute.
Wait it.
Oh, we got Tanika.
He's
20 years old. All July. Hold on. Wait. Oh, we got Vaughn. 20. Vaughn's 20. Now, all July. Wait. Who else do we got? We got Robert. 19. He's 19 years old. All July. Who else we got? We got Lauren. Right here, 14-year-old boy. Oh, wait. Oh, we got Damon. Damon looking good. So where are we? Nowhere. Because I'm waiting for you guys. Because I'm down to fight the power too, but if y'all ain't getting out for these people either, where are we? Where are we? This shit is fake. It's selective. This shit is fake and you're being used. Oh, another 18-year-old. Another 18-year-old dead. Another 19-year-old black male, black boy, dead. Before he's 21, 11-year-old black boy, dead.
Where's LeBron?
Where's LeBron? Where's all the shit? NBA ain't shutting down for none of this shit. I'm done.
There you have it. That's it. Well said, I would have to say. BLM walked away after that. So I love that guy. So there you have it. That was facts, and it was well said.
Black people don't speak for all black people. It is far in time that we stop speaking for the entire black community. Guess what? There are black people who grew up with two parents. There are black people who did not grow up in the hood. There are black people who never went to prison. There are black people who never experienced the struggle that, you know, a lot of black people say in this country we experience. There are black people who don't experience racism like other black people say that we experience. We are not all the same. It's 13% of blacks in this country. That means 40 million plus black people live in America. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of black people don't think the same. And because of decades of black people speaking for all black people in the media and now on social media and stuff like that, you can be a black person and go abroad and people look at you sadly. They're like, oh, you're black American. Oh, you experience so much racism. Oh, I feel bad for you. People look at you as a victim because of the narrative that has been perpetrated this whole time by other blacks. Guess what? You don't speak for all blacks. Start saying.
Hi, honey. I've seen a few comments like this, so I'm just going to use this one to explain to you and anyone else who may not know exactly how racism works. Racism is systematic. If you're a minority, it doesn't care how successful you are or how much money you've made. It's about color, and no matter how successful I get, I'm always going to be black. I can't run from that struggle, and to be honest, I don't want to. And since we don't know each other personally, you don't know anything about my actual life experiences. You only know the things I choose to tell you. But to be clear, the only reason why my family and I are where we are today is because of God. It's not because the entertainment industry or America gave me anything. The racial horror stories that my family and I have from this industry alone would shock you. Black people come from all different walks of life, from entertainment to corporate America to being a doctor or lawyer or high school or college student, and we all struggle with racism. But this separation has to stop. The dark skins from the light skins, the suburbs from the projects, the privileged from the unprivileged. Either you're black or you're not, and either you're with us or you're not. But this is a battle we all have to fight together. We're not going to win any other way. Much love.
Oh, what is up, Instagram? I'm going live on Instagram. This is the second time I've ever gone live on Instagram, but I just felt like I really wanted to clear the air on this Cardi B nonsense. So first and foremost, Cardi, I watched your story and it sounds very funny. First off, I'm saying it's funny because it's just ridiculous to me that you even take anything that I said as offensive when I'm telling you the truth. And I think if anything, you're only upset because people are telling you on Twitter that you got dragged, because you did get dragged, because you are uneducated when it comes to politics. That's first things first. I was not, I'm sure Ben Shapiro was not, we were not meaning to attack you. We're just simply telling the truth, which is the fact that Joe Biden did not spend the whole year in his basement to come up because he's a big Cardi B fan and sit down with you. He thinks you're an idiot. And you know, I just am encouraging you to stop proving him right when you say ridiculous things like, I had to sit down with Joe Biden because my sister got attacked by a Trump supporter, Santa Claus, making it seem like Trump supporters are homophobic. A little education for you, Cardi B. Donald J. Trump is the first president that's ever gone into office in support of gay marriage. So, you know, those 8 years that your presidential candidate Joe Biden spent as the vice president with Obama, they didn't support gay marriage going into office. Obama changed his tune on gay marriage in his second term. So the whole idea of Trump being a homophobe is a bit pointedly ridiculous and shows how uneducated you are. Then you came and you were talking about raising your taxes when you were on talking to Joe Biden, saying that you want your taxes lowered, but at the same time you want universal health care. That's ignorant and stupid. And Joe Biden knows it's ignorant and stupid. Even all the people that want free healthcare and universal healthcare acknowledge that tax rates have to be astronomical to be able to support that. So you're talking about a 74% tax rate. You continually keep saying you have a #1 song. It means shit. Nobody cares about a song about your wet ass pussy. Excuse my language for my followers. Being number one. I have a #1 song in the UK. I have a #1 song in Australia. I have a #1 song in New Zealand. That has nothing to do with Black America and whether or not you are helping or hurting. Right now, you are hurting Black America. Okay? When you stand on a platform and you pretend to care about Black men, when you ask Joe Biden, what are we going to do about these Black men dying? He should have asked you back, what are Black men going to do about Black men dying? Because 94% of Black men are killed by other Black men. Okay? We don't have an issue with police officers. In fact, if you go into those inner cities and you go into those projects, they need more policing. So you're a fraud. You're sitting here saying, making it seem like you're afraid of police officers. Are you afraid of your husband? You're more likely to be killed by your husband, way more likely to be killed by your husband than you are by a police officer. And you know that, right? You know that Black men kill more white men. You know that police officers are killed by Black men 18.5 times more, right? So don't use your platform and 75 million people to make it seem like police officers are the issue. You're uneducated. I mean, that is just what it is. You are uneducated. And I don't have a problem, by the way, with musicians and rappers and hip hop artists dabbling in politics if they're sincere. What I mean by that is, are you talking to people on both sides? Are you trying to actually get an informed understanding, or are you just being a mouthpiece for one party? Charlemagne the God has multiple people on his platform. He's talked to Republicans. He's friends with Senator Tim Scott, talks to him. He's a Trump supporter. He's had vice presidential candidates on his show, on The Breakfast Club. But he asks serious questions. He doesn't sit down with Joe Biden and say, oh, grr. In fact, Joe Biden wasn't comfortable when Charlemagne the God was sitting down and speaking to him, because Charlemagne the God was asking so many difficult questions. He wasn't just giving him a Santa Claus list like you were. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, and none of it makes sense. If you're serious about politics, if you're serious about trying to use your platform for good, then you need to educate yourself. That's literally all anybody is saying to you, is that you need to actually educate yourself and do the work. By the way, I'm not in your zone, you're in mine. Okay, so I get tired of your commenters and your fans saying, oh, she's clout chasing. I'd be clout chasing if I was challenging you to a rap battle. I'm not doing that. You're in my area. You're in politics. You're embarrassed because you realize you know nothing about anything when you're on Twitter. You actually told a lie just now to all of your followers. You said, oh, Trump, you said Trump told people to drink bleach. He never did that. Then you said Trump laughs when Black men get shot by police officers. How do you just put out a lie like that? How do you consider yourself to be a serious person when you just outwardly lied to all of your followers? You know he's never laughed at a Black man dying at police officers' hands. You know that for a fact. You can't pull a clip. Not even CNN, with all of their bullshit and lies, has ever claimed that Donald Trump laughs when Black men die at police officers. But you told that lie in a tweet. Why did you tell that lie? Because you're a fraud. So I'm calling you out on being a political fraud. You pretend you want to help. You don't. You don't. You don't know why you're a Democrat. You have no idea why you hate Republicans. You have no idea why you're on the side of the party that enslaved Black people, that segregated Black people, and standing behind a man that supported segregation. Joe Biden supported segregation. He said it's what Black people wanted. So let's just recap all of that. You're concerned about homophobia. For the 8 years that Joe Biden was in office, him and Obama didn't support gay marriage until the second term, but not when he was running for the second term. They didn't support gay marriage going into that office. You claim that you're concerned about racism and dying Black men, yet you want to defund police officers. That makes entirely no sense. You cannot defund the people that are actually protecting Black people. Black people need more policing in their neighborhoods, not less of it. And by the way, in those neighborhoods, there are Black police officers that are dying because it tends to be that police officers look like the neighborhoods that they're policing. So you are actually standing on a platform for more Black men to die, for taxes to be raised, right? For a man that has a very atrocious race record to be put into office, who looked at you the entire time like he was confused when you were talking because he knew that you were nothing but a puppet for him to be able to get a platform. That's it. You're a puppet. They use you. Okay. And you want to sit here and talk about Trump using me, or what are you talking about? Using me for what? I don't work for the RNC. I don't get paid by the Trump campaign. I say what I believe. You don't know what to do when you're looking at a Black woman that's free. That's what your problem is. I am telling you who I support, and I'm educated. And I'm challenging you to become educated. I'm challenging you to sit down with Black conservatives, okay, and have a meaningful conversation and a dialogue about what you actually want, and to actually try to understand the economics behind what you want, and to try to understand why it is you're actually supporting a man that does not care about Black lives and never has, and has been in office for decades and hasn't changed anything, and you're blaming Trump? It makes no sense. You hate Trump because they told you to hate Trump. You gave me no valid reasons for hating Trump. Not a single one, not even one valid reason for why you hate Trump. You just think you're supposed to because you're a puppet. That's what happens when you get big. Look, Cardi, I enjoyed you a lot on Love and Hip Hop. I saw you on TV. I said to my cousin, she's going to be a star. She has that it factor. She's very funny, you know, she's confident, and she says ridiculous things. I was just signing books, and I'm going to send you one because you need one. You need to learn. You need to black out. You need to Blexit. You need to learn about the real history of the Democrat Party. See that subtitle? How Black America can make its second escape from a Democrat plantation. You want to know why it says second, Cardi, and not first? Because we were enslaved by Democrats, not Republicans. Okay? We were enslaved by Democrats, not Republicans. So I'm going to sign you a copy. Get in touch with my agent and get in touch with your agent. I'm going to send it to your house. Okay? How's that for WAP? Okay? Bye.
I believe that Black Lives Matter, but the movement itself is toxic, and it was hijacked by other agendas a long time ago. How does advocating for equality turn into rejoicing over a Trump supporter being killed?
That's you.
Should I mute the mic?
Yeah, you can. All right. What was that? For a show.
For an intro?
I know, right? Ooh, that was a lot, wasn't it?
Oh, look! Wait, before we start, look what I got today. I get to join you. Boom. Where's your wine at, girl?
Right.
Salute. I made sure I saved some for tonight.
I know, right?
Cheers.
Oh, that was a lot. So that basically was our what's new in our world intro. Like we would go around asking everybody. So we kind of wanted to recap what we were talking about last Wednesday, and there was so much that had to be said, and there's a lot of questions we had about the Black Lives movement. I had that video with that young lady that it actually cut off. So while we talk about it, I'm going to prepare that video to play it again. But, I mean, where do we start? Where do we start? Is Mando still muted? That dude look like he done froze again. I mean, I had the opportunity to sit and like really look at a lot of videos today, and it was a lot. That's all I could say. It's like it's so much, man, chaos and confusion. I still couldn't figure out what is behind the movement. Like we saw on the Twitter post that Candace Owens had posted, basically like there is no BLM headquarters, no organization, is not a charity, and it's like, what is it and how is it being funded? Then you start to look at Antifa, and they have different videos on that, and then you have some where, first off, all lives matter, and I think what most blacks, what we're trying to say is that we just want equality. And then you have the other side of Black lives where, you know, blacks are killing blacks. And that since Black Lives Matter, we want to focus on that aspect too, not just the side of it, you know, when it comes to policing or anything like that. You have that point of view. Then you have the view where, you know, the racism aspect comes into it. And then you have some other, you know, races are like, you know, hey, it's not just about blacks, you know, it's about us as well. And then you have the looting and the terrorizing. And all of this is happening during, you know, BLM protesting. And it's not really connected to BLM, but it looks like it is a part, you know, of that. I can't even say that because what is, you know, it's like some people are out there actually protesting the right things, but then you have other movements that are behind it and it's almost like it's a cover-up. But it's being blamed, you know, for that. So I saw all kinds of videos, and I'm sure you guys can kind of, you know, chip in and chime in, you know, on that. And it's a lot. It's like very, very heavy. It's very heavy. You know, the state of where it is, like what it is and what it means to, you know, certain people. It's not the same thing, you know, for everybody. I said 302 Dre was like, he said all lives don't matter.
Get out.
And it's like looting from the whites. I mean, I think, I don't know.
That's a lie. You're a liar.
I think all lives do matter. I don't think, he said, yeah, they use the BLM banner literally to change and fuck shit up. Basically, yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with that as well, that it's a cover up, you know, for it. And it's such a bigger picture, you know, than what's being portrayed.
I don't know if it's a cover up though, because I've heard BLM like.
Can y'all hear me?
I hear you now.
Yep.
You might have to talk louder.
Okay.
No, not you. I was talking to somebody.
I don't know if it's a cover up because I've seen BLM or I've heard BLM activists say loot and steal everything that you can. So when it's coming from the actual organizer of the group, is it really a cover up or are they just showing you who they are? What's that saying? If somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
I think it's a lot. I think it's being misinformed, not understanding. Like going back to the first video, you know how he was like, "We looting because this is our land. It was stolen from us." You know, he said Darren Seals exposed BLM when Mike Brown was killed. Then he was killed. I heard about him as well. There are no BLM leaders. I agree with you on that.
Yeah, they don't exist. They call themselves organizers. I mean,
yeah.
Supposed to look at?
I researched it. I tried to find like about that, and I really didn't at all. So what you got to say, Faye?
The founders are 3 women. I mentioned.
Oh, they are. Well, how come they don't come up?
They're Marxists.
Yeah, they're actually, you can find it in Wikipedia. It's Alicia Garza. That's where I found it before. That's how I knew it was 3 women. And then I had a conversation with someone a while back talking about. I'm sorry, you guys. Did you guys hear that alert? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, it's Alicia Garza, Patrice Coulers, and Opal Tamari. And they look really interesting. I mean, they're all women of color. Yeah, so, but a friend of mine said something about one of them a while back. I can't even really clarify like what it is. But to me, I just think that it's not serving the communities. You know, I only came across Candace Owens like very recently, and I didn't even really know she was a conservative at first, you know, because I came across her Twitter page. But the things that she was saying, and some of the vids that I saw of her initially were really interesting to me, and it just, I don't know, something just clicked intuitively for me. And because as far as like the left is concerned, I get what she's talking about in how, like, you know, they just want to keep you in this like level to where you can't go up, you know, and that's just not even really about race, you know. It's like, I you know, everybody goes through struggles, you know. I mean, I feel like I've been put down. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is to have dark skin, but I've been around a lot of Black folks. And so, like, I understand their culture. And also, you know, I've experienced a bit of like discrimination myself. And I mentioned that last week. I don't want to go into all that right now. All I'm just saying, my point is that anyone has the ability to rise. We all have the ability to rise. But when we're already in a state of mind where we've been struggling and then we keep receiving handouts, and, you know, it just enables this state of mind that, okay, I'm just going to be here. And we mentioned that last week too. So, you know, the BLM movement, man, it's just, you know, to me, it's it's like George Soros is one of the people that funds it. He's one of the people, if not the main person, who funds Antifa. During the riots, when they were really intense, like right after George Floyd, when all that shit went down, there were bricks that were set up in different cities for people to loot. So it was like completely planned, you know. I had even seen videos of like members of, I think it was Antifa, because it was this white person who was handing out a brick or something to loot with to a couple of Black people, you know, and just like, hey man, go and, you know, like go and do this, you know, and just directing them basically. And yeah, there's just a lot of different things that you know, are just going viral. And I mean, so many things were going viral during that intense time. And the videos don't lie. They don't lie, you know. And if you you know, hear from people of color that are like, especially the Black community, that are like, you know, this is how it is, and it's kind of in line with, like, you know, what other people are saying. And I feel like Candace is like, she is a lead speaker for that whole collective, but I don't necessarily know if they are into Blexit or anything like that. But there's something collective going on in that paradigm to where it's like, you know, there's people that want to wake up from this.
Yeah.
You know, that they don't want to just be stuck in a box. Like, we understand that the past happened and all of that, and all kinds of shit happened to us in our past. Like, you know what I'm saying? My life hasn't been the easiest. Holy fuck. Like, it's still not the easiest every day, you know? But there's just, we have the ability to rise, basically, you know, and I don't know, that's all I can say about it, you know. And it's just really mentality. And, you know, I understand if some people have been marginalized, even when they've tried to hustle among, like, you know, white people who, you know, they've been in like the same company and all of that. I've, you know, read, you know, an old friend of mine who went through something like that, which I had mentioned briefly last week as well. You know, and so it's like, I hear about it, but yet it's still the mentality. And this is a time right now where, like, everybody can rise right now because of like the availability that we have, as opposed, like, rather than before. Like, I mean, we have so much at the tip of our fingers right now to be able to create. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter what color you are. You have the ability to create your destiny, basically, you know? And it you know, the narrative of this, that, and the third about what's been handed down, whether it's your family or, you know, politics, government, whatever, and then whatever it is that you succumb to, like, that doesn't have to be it. It's like your, it's your decision to change that. And that is, you know, that takes individual strength, which I think, you know, so many Black people have, you know, this amazing inner strength, you know what I'm saying? That I've always been drawn to among the Black community. So
Faith, so how do
I'm sorry, man.
Black people have?
I want to play this video before we. Can you hold that thought? I want to play the video that kind of cut off.
You just Kanye West me just now? You just Kanye West me just now? I know she didn't do that. I know she didn't just do that.
Damn, you gotta call me Taylor Swift? I'm sorry, but I wanna, because I don't want us not to see the whole part of what she was talking about for with BLM. All right, so wait a minute, let me play this video, Kanye. Oh man. Of course it does that. It's coming.
Advocating for equality turned into rejoicing over a Trump supporter being killed. How does advocating for the lives of people that have been taken based on the color of their skin turn into burning Bibles? Death to America. This movement is not for Black people. This movement is a vehicle for the devil to push forward wicked agendas. This movement is toxic. The phrase Black Lives Matter is true. As a Black woman, I would be ignorant and foolish to say that it's not. But this movement, if you are a professing Christian, you need to do your research into what you are doing if you are supporting this movement, because it is wicked.
All right. So I wanted to play that video because I thought it was important to go into what we were about to talk about. And so now that we've heard it all, now it makes sense. It's like I feel what she was saying, but I'm not gonna talk. I'm gonna go ahead, Bando. I'm giving you back the stage. Mommy? Taylor Swift has exited the building. Mommy?
I was saying though, what they were saying though, how do you feel like, so-called Black people have the opportunity to, to get out here and do for themselves? Like, what is the, how do you see it from your point of view? Like, I mean, because our point of view, when we've been conditioned like this for generation and generation, like we don't have the opportunity to do for self, and what it is that you see that we have an opportunity to do for ourselves, or even have a advantage to do for self.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm gonna let I think I'm gonna let Majid. I'm gonna hand that one over to him because I think that we have the same type of perspective on it. So
we running for the question.
I'm not trying to. I'm just saying. If you really want to hear from me,
yeah, but
and I'll let him finish it off.
Okay.
Because I think it's important. But just for me personally, without just getting rid of the color issue.
Right.
Okay. That everybody goes through struggles, like I've been through my struggles, like since I was a child, really, like it all started from my childhood. And I didn't even know that you know, that shit was taking me for a really long time. And it was like ruling my psychological behavior, you know? And so, you know, bless the universe, whatever above, you know, it's like, I was just always looking for my light, but in really strange ways and I just feel like that determination and that want and like no excuses, you know? I mean, I've been hurt, you know what I mean? Like it hurts to have to deal with stuff like that. And that's what it is, you know? It's maddening. It makes your blood boil. This whole BLM thing makes my blood boil because it's a fucking lie. I'm sorry. Okay. For anybody who disagrees with me, it's a lie because it's not actually helping anyone to rise, you know? So, you know, there's no excuses, you know, like everybody's got to strive, you know, and you can make it here in this country. You know, if you work smart, you got to work hard in some way, you know what I mean? So, but with what we have and how everything is evolved and the technology that we have now, man, it is like, it's so easy. I mean, you don't even need to have a degree anymore, really, to be quite honest, you know, to make it in the world. You just have to be creative and innovative. And this is the time to do it. This is like the age of it, you know? So, and I'm not squashing the degree thing. If anybody wants to go to school and spend the money to do that, make sure that you can find a job and make sure you love it so that it's like worth every penny to you, you know? Otherwise, if it's just for the sake of, because it was handed down, you know, it's someone else's narrative, really, you know, to spend that much money on school. You know what I mean? Some people are very fortunate to like study what they study and then get out and like do it, you know? That's awesome. I love that. But yeah, and it's just like this color thing is an issue. But I really, what's that?
I'm sorry. I said we have a YouTube comment going off of what you said. He said, this was 20 Will's dude, said the people who make the laws and control the banks aren't letting you, I guess as in us, sit at the table.
That is so easy to say. You don't even know if that's true. How do you know that? How do you know that? What do you know that I don't know that allows you to say the people who control the banks and control the nation are not allowing us to sit at the table? There are black senators. What are you saying? What does that mean? Because when people tell me that, all I hear is, you know, there's lizard men that control the society, and the Illuminati is real, and blah blah blah. It's like you're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand what that means. You because it's like you can't prove that that's real or not. It's another excuse. That's what it sounds like to me. Because black people, I don't know why BLM doesn't like take into account the black people who are successful. Like LeBron James. Like I understand he wants to kneel and stuff like that, but he's LeBron James. There was a black president, Barack Obama. Like we have all these black artists. We have black people in technology. Like black people can rise to be something. You can't say it's not a possibility.
Oh.
Because you've seen it.
We have a visitor. So we got to let him in. Trip Bennett.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Professor, I was just saying that because, you know, some people feel like they're not qualified to, you know, even sit at the table because they feel like they're not welcome to sit at the table. And they don't have the opportunity to sit at the table. You know what I'm saying?
Like Martin Luther King wasn't.
And like, you know, what makes the people, you know, want to do things for themselves, like where they can start at, like to find themselves. Like, I mean, what they, you know, what it is that's making them.
Did you hear what he said? I don't know if you heard him.
No, what did he say?
Are you talking to Majid or are you talking to me?
He was talking to Majid.
I'm sorry, who?
I'm trying.
Okay.
Say it again. No, you was saying that you don't know. He was talking about they have other.
I was saying I'm gonna repeat.
Oh, you basically saying like.
Yeah, I'm gonna repeat it though.
All right.
Okay.
No, repeat it. Repeat it.
What I was saying, basically, like, you know, I mean, people feel like of our kind, you know, they've been conditioned for generations and generations, and they've been taught from school all the way to, you know, elementary that you're a slave, you know what I'm saying? And you have a mentality to think like a slave and don't even have the mentality to do for yourself. So they feel like they don't have the, you know, privilege like everybody else have privilege to sit at the table. They still thinking like a slave mentality. Where do they need to start at to, you know, unlock their minds for going, going forward to, make, to go forward.
Just stop thinking like that. Like, look at other people.
But they gotta know to stop thinking like that, though.
Yeah, but that's what this podcast is for, to tell you you're not a slave anymore. I don't know if you got the memo.
But yeah.
But you're not a slave no more. Like, you
said Obama was a black president. What did he do for the black people?
Nothing. He didn't do anything.
Yep, I've heard that many times.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I've heard that too.
He just blew up them boys in the Middle East. Did you hear how many people he blew up in the Middle East with like rockets?
No, he blew up people.
Death counts.
Oh wow. Well, hi Trip. Welcome to the show.
What's up? How y'all doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
What up, Trip?
What up, Bando?
You cool? What you got?
What's going on, fella?
What you got for us?
Man, I agree with some of it and disagree with some of it. You got to look at BLM as this, okay? It spawned a lot of different things, too, that are also positive for black people. You got black men getting armed today. That wasn't happening before all this was popping off in record numbers. Different groups like UEP, Newton, NFAC, all that. I'm not saying that you need to agree with what they're doing, but we're standing up for ourselves. Those guys, whenever they show up, there is zero issues. There's no looting. There's no burning of cities. There's no any of that. But as far as BLM is concerned, I put it in the room earlier. They raised all this money to get people out of jail, but they have not bought 1 acre of land to rectify an issue. If we need new places to go, they have the money to do it.
Well, why are they not telling us this? Like, why do I have to go through you to learn this information? Because if
that's why they're not publicized.
Yeah, why? Because I mean, if that's what. If you're an organization,
what's not publicized?
Basically, what you just said, the positive parts of it.
Yeah, like I didn't know that.
We just see, all of the.
Oh, you haven't seen NFAC and all that stuff? That's because it's being used. Okay, so you have the BLM is being used as a political a front for both sides, right? for both sides. They can use it to promote their agenda. If you look in these cities, you have a white militia showing up in these cities saying that they're going to help out the police. The police don't need your fucking help, excuse me. They don't need your help at all. To the white militia, they can handle all that. If you see that happening, and then it turns into the Antifa aspect, that's where both sides of the media can use it to further their agenda. They'll say, we saw somebody in the room earlier, yeah, the blacks are stealing everything, and no, they're not, okay? In some areas, we do see black people taking stuff, like in Chicago and and things like that. But for the most part, these riots are created by white people claiming to be BLM.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what is not spoken about. You have Candace Owens, who for once I kind of agreed with what she was actually saying. If you don't know anything about Black, anything pro-Black, she's against. Okay, anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. The bottom line is George Floyd shouldn't have been killed that way. It doesn't matter what he did in his past. He shouldn't have been killed in that manner. And a lot of these shootings shouldn't be happening. So Candace Owens said the thing about, what's her name? Cardi B. Cardi B don't need to really talk about politics. She is being used as a puppet. She is, but at least she's standing up. She's trying. She's trying to use her voice while other people in those same positions that Cardi B has, with all the notoriety, all the fame, all the money, do absolutely nothing to push forward equality.
I agree with
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What do you guys think in terms of the BLM and Cardi B speaking? That just makes it seem like completely not legitimate or illegitimate.
I don't know, man, because you can say the same thing for police. Oh, there's only some police. There's not a lot of Black Lives Matter activists looting and stealing. No, there's not a lot of police shooting and killing Black people. For the majority, they're good and they do what they need to do. Like, it's kind of, you can't, like one bad apple spoils the bunch. You can't just say, hey, for the most part, BLM is good, but we might, destroy a few communities here and there, but it's okay. Because BLM is fighting for Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't agree with BLM personally. Like I just explained, they don't do anything for Black people.
Okay.
But we need to, from there, we have these other groups that are for Black people.
Right.
If you take NFAC, for example, we talk about policing our own people. Not letting any Black people be killed by any white person or Black person. That's for us, as Black people. Those are things that grew from that, because a lot of us recognize that as a whole general movement it's a false narrative.
Well, the thing about the police is, if anything, I believe something like that just drives segregation. If we were to police ourselves, so we're basically saying we don't want any white police officers, or no police officers at all. No police officers.
Okay. Okay, so now we bring up these subjects of police officers in communities and segregation. Now we can start to move forward of what can we do, right? We have, let's just face it, Black people are oppressed people forever in this country. And the country has not yet made a public apology like they've done to every single other race that has been abused, like the Japanese, the Jews. The Japanese got reparations twice. They were given reparations in 1990 for what happened in the early 1900s. And they haven't given us a single cent or anything. And people like Ben Shapiro, who is Candace Owens' favorite person, she mentioned him in that video, speaks about the only racist law we have is affirmative action. However, affirmative action is mostly used by white women.
Wow, never knew that.
Well, we can also talk about other things. Like you said that, having white cops be moved out of the communities and stuff like that. What I was going to try to go for was when we speak about what we can do, and the government can do, is we don't have any black lands, black nations. You know, if you have African blood, you could be on the police force. If you have African blood, you know, you're gonna get divvied up tax revenues and stuff, like how a lot of the Indians are doing in the Northeast, like the casinos and things like that on those Indian tribal lands. There's so many different ideas that we could do, and none of those are brought up.
Being brought up,
all that could be all that could be packaged in reparations. Why is BLM not speaking about reparations and building lands? That's why I said they have $90 million and did not purchase 1 acre of land for the people.
So you agree that the BLM is not for us?
The BLM, the people in the BLM are for us, but the BLM itself is not. Somebody said that it was George Soros. I need to see proof on that, because there's always some money there. Like go ahead, Bandit.
So if you saying they're not, I mean, the people that's in the group that's marching, they for us, but the people that's funding it, they are not for us. So therefore, if they're not for us, that means they're guiding them to just self-destruct themselves then.
Okay.
And they don't know it.
How about this? Okay, if we go to, let's type in like a BLM, I'm just gonna type in BLM official, right? BLM official. There's no clear-cut agenda. There's no plan. No. So it can't possibly be for anybody. Let's just go out there and make a bunch of noise, and today we're gonna say defund the police.
Yeah.
You know, there's no clear-cut agenda. It doesn't say we are trying to get this, and this done. Right. It's not. Like the NRA says we are pro Second Amendment. We're doing this, and now we have lobbyists to, you know, do that with the money that they get from the people. BLM, they're not doing anything with the money except getting people out of jail.
So what you suggest for the people that's out there that's rooting for the BLM? I mean, what is the next move then if that's the case?
Okay, so they say BLM got hijacked by Antifa, right? That's what they're saying. Okay, we need to hijack BLM back, and we need people to speak up and say, this is what we want. We want reparations, we want land, we want money, we want the ability to go back and forth to Africa if we choose to. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, we're back in what? Back
and forth to Africa.
If we want to.
Okay, without no passport, you're saying?
Yeah, because that's our land over there, and we were brought here, and you know, we have no idea.
So you're saying we were brought here too? That what you're trying to say?
I don't want to get. Me and you have discussed other things.
Okay, because you know I'm about to go ahead with that. Because you know what I'm saying. You know I'm about to get.
Yeah. But you know, it says in those books, you know, we're also brought here by ship.
Right.
You know, and that was
all right. Listen. All right, I got a question then. When you say ship, can you prove and show me a ship?
Well, I used to live in Connecticut, and there's a place called Mystic Seaport, and they have ships there that were slave ships.
All right, how old the ship is?
Really old. I can't tell you what year. I mean, like, you ever seen the movie The Amistad?
No.
Okay, you should check out that movie, The Amistad. Yep. That ship, that ship was recreated, but that ship is also there now. And there's other slave ships that were there for display and museum purposes.
Well, my question is, okay, if you got, and I'm probably jumping off topic when we was going there.
We can go wherever you want. I don't care. It's about black people.
My thing is though, if that ship been there since I've been on this planet, why they never put it in the school textbooks, and they always been showing shackles in the textbooks and stuff like that? Like, that's what I'm saying.
Because the shackles are on the ships.
The shackles is on. The shackles is in the them little white big old buildings that you call plantation. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's what that's at. But they're not showing. I mean, that's what they show us in movies. That's what they show us in textbooks. They don't show no shit. So what I'm saying is, why we can't just be like, okay, we always been here? Why we always gotta been like we was brought here? There's some of us that were here already.
Yeah.
They've already like the PBS has done a special on that. I just posted on my Facebook. Mansa Musa was having people come to America trading with the Indians, giving them golden spear tips. You know, and that was when they were free. He was the richest man ever. And they said that Jeff Bezos is the first person to reach $200 billion. And they're like, no. Mansa Musa would have had $418 billion. He had all the gold of the world. Right. So, all right. So what I'm just saying is, and I'm trying to stop, the mind thinking of slave. We've been brought here as slaves when some of us was already here. So if we was already here, then that makes us, we should be free in the mind and, letting people know we should be free. We should be free. We shouldn't have to follow the laws and stuff like that. However, as the quote unquote white man came, right, and was bringing people, they marginalized everybody that was already here, either killing them or trying to wipe them off the planet. Yeah, exactly. So either way, the struggle is exactly the same. Just because they didn't come on a ship bound onto the ship, they became bound to the land and could never leave and go back home. You know what I'm saying? In one way or another, by death or by physical bounding. So, I mean, we could be on this topic all night, but I mean, I just don't want to take up the whole show of us talking about who was here first. But it's just that, if people was already here already on a free will and coming through the Mississippi River, which is the Nile, you know what I'm saying? From, it's the new Nile, coming through here. So that means, regardless, it's still considered as, even though if they still brought us over here, we still travel on our free will. But that still let us, they don't make us not, from over here as well. You know what I'm saying? We have families over here, just like we have families over there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, we should have land here too. Exactly. That's why so native land. At the end of the day, those natives got darker. They've already proven that too. They came from Asia. Yeah. Right. I'm just saying though, once you know your history and you know the truth, then you start looking within yourself for information. You want to be worrying about what you see on TV, who you think gonna help you. In this in the scenario, you know what I'm saying? Because but systemic racism is the real thing, because the other lady was saying that she struggled and stuff, and everybody does. However, it's if you achieve a certain amount more, and one of them is definitely not that. Oh, that's a black man. No matter what, somebody, doesn't matter if you're richer than him or not, it's gonna be like, oh, you're a nigga, and that's it. They're just gonna call you out on it, and you're gonna have to deal with it somehow. And that's the difference. That's me being just born and everybody being born. So it's like, we have the same struggles that you have. You're a woman, so I might not have the same exact struggles, but you don't have the black part of it. So that's just one thing on top of it that you have to overcome. And that's something that I don't think anybody will ever understand. No, the black part. No, the black part. I won't ever understand the woman issue. I'll never understand it. Just like somebody that's not black won't be able to understand. And don't think for a moment that I'm ever dismissing the whole black thing, because
I've been around black folks, you know, like on and off all my life. I mean, I've been around all kinds of cultures. And, you know, some of my really longtime friends are black, you know, and I can still hear them about whatever they go through. You know what I'm saying? And I love them dearly, you know, and I'm always there to hear it out, whatever it is. But I just want to make an example of, like, you know, I knew a couple of black men when I was living in the Bay, and actually, you know, I was seeing one of them just for a short period, whatever. One of them, I believe, I can't remember if he was born in Sudan and came here when he was a baby, or if he was born here and his mom was like straight up Sudanese, loves the mother. And he was so cool, like just succeeded in whatever he did, and he hustled, and he had all kinds of friends. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of colors, you know, and actually I think he supports BLM, you know, and I've seen it on his social media, right?
I support BLM
I never,
to a degree too. To a degree.
Right. Well, and you know, all I'm saying is that I didn't ever hear or sense any kind of like struggle from him, from his color. And this brother is dark. He is darker than you. You know what I mean? And he just was enjoying his life, being creative and just being in that completely. You know, another brother I met who got accepted to Stanford University, which is in the Bay Area. He came from France, you know, and I hung out with them one night, and they were all just like a bunch of
animal. France,
sure, but he came to this country. But he came to this country nevertheless. You know, and yes,
completely different in France.
Of course, yeah, it's like Europe is different in the way they deal with colored people than here.
In France, Algerians,
yes,
Lebanese, all that, they come up. And,
it's all they're all mixed. They're all mixed over there, and
they're Africans too, and they have like a respect for each other.
Right,
to a degree.
Right.
It's still racist.
Well, and also the Europeans, you know, they have still recently, like, you know, I knew this one Eritrean brother who was like, you know, he was born in Italy, spoke Italian. His father was Eritrean. I mean, Eritrea was just an Italian colony in, like, you know, the late 20th century, you know, or maybe just mid, you know. And so, you know, but he had a different mind frame, but he didn't ever really express any kind of like struggle with racial tension, you know, and maybe this could just
he might not have shared it with you.
No,
or
but
he just ignores it and keeps pushing forward.
Yeah, but he had a lot of different friends too. I mean, so many. And this could just be the location. It could just be because it was the Bay, and the Bay is very liberal. You know what I'm saying? But also it's, you know, but then I've also, like, there's another brother that I knew who ended up on Fortune 500, you know, and he, you know, he was always hustling and like doing his creativity and did not care, you know, and he shared about his stories of being marginalized, you know, because of his dark skin, again, darker than you, but didn't ever stop him. And he always was staying creative and has traveled. And I just saw recently he has been in Barcelona, you know, and he was born, I think he was born in the US. He was definitely not born somewhere else. He wasn't born in Europe like the other gentleman that I had just mentioned who got accepted to Stanford. You know, so yeah, I mean, I've just seen it. You know, I've been in the hood, like when I was younger. You know, I hung out with, like, I remember I hung out with this brother who was a Crip because his cousin was our neighbor down the hallway from the apartment that I was living in at the time when I was like 14, you know, and I guess he got sent out or whatever. So I've hung out with that version, and then I've also hung out with another version. So it's like I know I've seen both sides.
You mean like a version of? You mean a version of a black person, or
yeah, like the
stereotypical black person?
No, not like a, because I say version because we're talking about like how Banda was saying, how can you get out of the that mentality of like because we've been in this enslavement. The projects do exist. It's not a lie. It's real. And, it's still happening. People are still getting killed in their own neighborhoods, by their own people and things. So it's like, I feel like, because I have seen and have met and have been in touch and have related and connected with, Black people of like different sorts, that I feel like there is possibilities, and that it's also just it's also a mindset, and how like how we go about it, how do we all go about it, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not dismissing at all the struggle. I'm not dismissing the systemic racism, because it does exist. I know it because of an old friend of mine who was expressing his marginalization while he was still hustling and had his own company and was like featured in like Fortune magazine. You know what I'm saying? Like in the midst of his hustle of getting there, it happened to him, but he was like, I don't give an F. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Yeah, and he's all over the place. Yes, so.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
And like, you don't have to answer it. What race are you?
I'm Filipina.
I'm not saying. Okay, so you're from the Philippines.
I'm Filipina, and our our indigenous people there are super dark.
Yeah, exactly.
I got. You can't see it, but I'd have some. I'm like, I'm all of it. Like I've got some Asian in me. I've got Spanish in me too. I've got that black thing going on.
Yeah.
So
I personally think that we have Black Lives Matter, the movement, right? Versus people going out there and saying that Black Lives Matter. I think that every black person should be out there saying Black Lives Matter and supporting that, not participating in the looting and rioting and stuff like that, unless it is necessary. Because we have seen throughout history that it is necessary to get people to just do something. The American Revolution, everybody was a traitor and a terrorist, and they were all could be killed and beheaded and hung at any time. Every single person, either if you were England or an American patriot, you were a traitor to one side or the other. So I think every black person should be, number one, armed. I'm armed. Every black person.
If you want to show your little toes, man, go ahead and show your little toes.
No, I was advised not to do that anymore.
Go ahead now.
Not to do that.
That's what you about to do, huh?
No, it's getting real out there in the streets. So they told us not to. I was told not to do that anymore. And yeah, I mean, I think every black person should be armed. Every black person should be saying that Black Lives Matter and putting that hashtag in. That doesn't mean that you support what happens during the Black Lives Matter movement. But here's an interesting thing I saw the other day in Rochester. In Rochester, the black people were getting together, right? Because you know what happened there. If you don't know what happened, a man had the thing put over his head. He was, I guess, high, and he ended up being killed, all right, by the police. And now the police chief, who is black there, resigned, okay? White people got around all the black people, right? And used them as basically as shields at that point, because of the privilege. The white cops are not going to shoot into the black, into that crowd. Now, when you see, the black militias show up, do you see any issues with police? The police know their role when black people got guns. When a bunch of black people got guns together, they're like, nah, we ain't fucking with them. So that's just that seems like that would solve that problem right there.
You're talking about.
I don't know if you've seen some of it. Look at Louisville. Look at what happened in Georgia. Anywhere where black people are showing up in numbers, letting the police know that we're not fucking around. They do not.
So look, let me ask you, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about Donald Trump?
Well, what do you mean? How do I feel about Donald Trump? In what aspect?
Do you think he's gonna get a second term? Do you think he's gonna get? You know, how things looking on your end, like far as your way, you want him?
I'm not very optimistic about this election. I'm more of what's the word? Pessimist. I don't know if that's the actual word. I might be trying to sound too smart, but the
And what if
Donald,
you were
a pessimist?
And what if you were? And what if you were just smart? Why
I
not?
don't know. Well, that's cool too. But I think that Donald Trump. I don't know if I should say anything right now. Donald Trump. Is he going to win? I don't know if he's going to win. I live in Colorado, where he is going to win in this area.
Oh, you live in Colorado.
However, in Denver, he is not going to win in Denver. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know. I just see it. I think lines have been drawn in the sand. What have happened at these riots, where there is going to be some type of civil unrest on a nation scale, where people are going to die in mass numbers, no matter who wins the election.
So, my G, what you feel about that, bro?
You, with the situation in Rochester, I don't know about that one, bro. Because
which part you don't know?
What you mean you don't know?
Yeah, the report.
What don't you know about it?
So what happened was he was a white guy. It was snowing, right? He was butt naked. He was on PCP.
Yeah.
And because he was spitting, they put a spit bag over his head to make him stop spitting.
And he died.
Yeah. And he threw up, and he choked on his own vomit.
Right.
Threw up from the PCP.
Look,
he choked on his own vomit.
I'm not saying that the protests are correct in response to what happens.
But did the police do anything wrong? Is what I'm asking.
Did the police do it?
Do anything wrong?
Anything wrong?
Oh. I don't know enough about it to say they did or not.
I'll pull up an article.
I don't know enough about that particular case. I just seen them. I just saw them one day, and the thing was already going on, like the little protest or whatever, and they were like, "Hey, white people, get behind us," and da 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 da. You know, so what was that? Rochester, right? Rochester protest.
I think he's trying to show.
You mean that the cops aren't necessarily bad?
No, we're just talking about this singular situation.
Oh.
Is what the cops did
singular
wrong,
situation. I don't.
Warranted. Do you believe?
Do I think it should be a riot worth?
Well, I guess he's saying were the riots warranted, meaning like basically were there riots after?
I watched it live. And the people were actually. It's funny. The people were actually peaceful until a certain time, right? So, like, the people were walking down the street. The police weren't really doing nothing. The police were just standing their ground, like, basically in front of the police station. And they basically just were yelling at each other and stuff like that. And then, about whatever time it was local, maybe 10 o'clock local, right? Or 12 o'clock local, whatever. They started throwing like tear gas and stuff. And then the rocks started coming over. Then it just went bad. But they didn't loot, right? They were just going against the police. I think the police they escalate things way too fast. When reality, they could just, okay, reality, they could just wait things out. They have the manpower to do that.
Well, that's training, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about it is training? Do they need more of it, do you think?
No, they need to learn how to de-escalate.
Yeah, because you have angry people that are running on emotion.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
That's training. I mean, I think, like, to be a police officer, how many weeks of training do you have to undergo? Isn't it like 3 weeks or something like that?
It depends.
It depends.
It depends because in Washington State, it's like you go to your training and it's 8 to 10 months. And then from there, you're going to be with a training officer for another year and a half. You know, so it just depends where it is.
And in Washington?
But if you look around,
how many killings
Washington State. If you look in Washington State, like the process is long. Like I'll type in Seattle.
Yeah, but Washington State's just like that.
Yeah.
Even though it's a blue state.
You know, but
they don't, I don't think that, their carrying laws are kind of funny over there.
I think that
not like Cali though.
I think the police, okay, so to me, defund the police, right, is I don't necessarily know what they're trying to defund. I've seen police when I lived in Florida that show up with tanks, okay? And they're not on the street every day just patrolling the street with a tank. That's not what I mean. But they have them for situations that could arise to just bulldoze through somebody's house, right? We saw them do that in LA before, in the Watts riots and things like that. So do they really need new police cars every single year? I don't think so. I think they could divert some of that funds to educating people so they have a better relationships. They have more opportunities.
Oh, did he go out? Okay.
Somebody called me. I'm sorry. Oh. Sorry. Yeah, the government might just cut me off at any time because I haven't really gotten into it, I think, so.
Yeah, because you right now, you hot on social media right now in the last couple of, I think, last month? You had
well, I've been letting them know, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I really think that we're at a point where there's just no going back to the way it was. Yep. Right? Nobody's going to be sitting around the water cooler and coffee thing like, hey, how you doing? No, that's not happening anymore. Something's going to happen. You're going to see people die. It's already happening. And I'm not saying like I'm not going to be an agitator, but some of it is necessary. Some people are just bad. Why is George Zimmerman walking around on this earth still? Makes no sense.
It doesn't.
Why is he? Why?
Because nobody is going to make that move just yet. You know, what about Clay Higgins that said he would drop any 10 black people that show up to your hood, Louisiana?
He didn't.
You say my hood?
Was it Tennessee? He might have been Tennessee. He said he would drop.
My hood.
Yeah, it might have been Tennessee. He said that he would drop any 10 of us that show up just because we're armed. But he walks around with white militia. That's a racist. That person needs to go. And he's in government. He's a congressman.
You ever heard this term? Gangsters moving in silence. We don't like really, I mean, listen. Once you get out your character, then you show who you are. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to show what you are capable of doing because at the end of the day, it wants you really the main people that's putting in work behind the scene. They want them to come out. You know what I'm saying? Because why?
Yeah.
Come on now, like you'll be stupid. I mean, that's just like a rat, right? I'm sorry that I'm using this term because I don't like rats. That's just like a rant. You know what I'm saying? Damn it. Knowing his dad's supposed to be, you know, working behind the scene, eating his cheese, but he want to go what? Be in the scene and get caught by a mic strap. You know what I'm saying? Like that's stupid. Like why would you shoot yourself in the foot? You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about totes. You know what I'm saying? Sound like to me, there's a lot of bark with no bite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they have a lot of bark but no bite. You know what I'm saying? Because if you really want to do something.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I mean, because if you really wanted to do something, it would have been done. Nobody. I mean, anybody who won't do something, they gonna do it. Ain't no talking, ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of that. You know
exactly.
it. You know it. And I know it.
Exactly. And then, but some of us are on the precipice of like, yo, we're gonna start doing something, and when it pop off, it's gonna pop off. And you know what happened? You see that little white boy, that scary man. Actually, he's terrifying. He's a terrorist. Went down to Kenosha and shot those people. Right? They were giving him money in the jail. They're giving him, you know, they're trying to get him out. But let somebody like me, that look like me, go do that same thing. What happened when the guy in Dallas shot the cops? Right? He shot like 3 cops or whatever. They blew his ass up.
Yeah.
With a fucking robot. No due process. No any of that. They could have just waited for him to fall asleep. They had him surrounded. He had no more weapons. But they blew him up, didn't care. But any white person that goes crazy and shoots up a whole church of people, oh, we gonna get them McDonald's. We're gonna get them an Egg McMuffin. Good job.
All right. And that goes what I've been saying. Like, okay, if you want things to work out for you, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you should, like, you know, my G been saying since last week, you know what I'm saying? You should be able to put yourself in position. I'm talking about it wouldn't happen right now. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But at least leave, like, you know what I'm saying, a legacy, like, meaning, like, okay, if you want law enforcement, you want your own army, you want all this, okay, we're going to have to start with this now. You know what I'm saying? To be recognized as a people, you know what I'm saying? But because in I think 13th Amendment, they still don't consider us as people.
Okay,
you know
so I'm glad you brought that up because Colorado in 2018 is the first state to actually fully 100% abolish slavery, and now the state is being sued by the prisoners because when they go to work, they are supposed to get minimum wage because they are no longer slaves. Because of what the Constitution says.
Captives and bondage?
Exactly. The Constitution, because the United States Constitution says you are not a slave unless you are a criminal, right? Or there cannot be any slavery unless you're a criminal. Colorado is the first state to actually 100% abolish it. And that was in 2018.
Well, not all of them, the ones that get privileged to work. Come on, the president. Yeah.
And it's a shame that we still have that today. People don't even know it. That is written. We don't understand the language that is written.
You knew that was written in the 13th Amendment?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, a lot of these things is. I mean, that's another thing that can hold us from, you know, being.
I have the Constitution here somewhere.
I mean, going further, you know what I'm saying? The 13th Amendment definitely, you know, did not include us in it. You know, that's why I say when you know, go by the name of, I guess, once you fall under the code of what that is, calling yourself black or whatever, the code that they put us under. That's why.
It's a code. That's all it is. It's a code. It's not real.
Yeah.
Because we all come in different shades. You know, it's not real.
But yeah, trip.
But the last thing I'd like to say is that there's some brothers in this room right now that are doing their thing. They making their money. They're not bothering nobody. And then still somebody can pull up and call them a nigga and just shoot them while they in their truck. That's why I told you to make sure that you strapped too out there. Because anybody could just walk up to that truck and act crazy just because of the color of your skin, especially with the narrative that's going on today in the world. And I just want all of us to be protected because when we're
but you know, and I know, Trip, that that's gonna be kind of real tough for me to do that. On tough. You know that.
There's always when there's a will, there's a way, and thankfully, there's people like me that know how to make things happen for people.
Say no more.
And you could tell people to hit me up. I help anybody out. Anybody that need to figure something out.
That this weekend, man, I went to the gun range this weekend, man, and I'm hitting right, you
want to see
but you missed every shot. Right. We understand.
Hold that noise, you.
That's my baby Excalibur. First of all, we have to treat every weapon like it's loaded.
That's what you're saying, Bad
So, we're going to treat it like a... Alright, it's clear. This is what you need in your home. You need this in your home. Anybody without this, I've had to put this on somebody at my home. I have security cameras at my home because somebody came into my home. Everybody's like, hey, why didn't you shoot that guy? Number one, he listened to my commands. You see that? You gonna listen. Plus, I got lasers and lights and shit. You gonna listen. Number two, my kids are behind them, so you have to have awareness. So it's not just about having the gun and looking the part. It's about living.
You gotta follow protocols. You gotta follow protocols. So
yes, and we all need to live a certain way.
You can't be trigger happy now.
You, Bando, you got people eating shrimp and fish and cleaning up their diet so they can fucking breathe better and move better. You know what I'm saying? So we have to have it all together. Yeah. Okay? Right. We have to work together on different aspects.
Right. Drake, I see you in here, Drake. What's good with you?
I'm out, y'all. Peace. Be safe.
Where you going that trip? Where you going that trip? We got
I thought you were done with me.
No, we got Drake up here. Wait, Drake. Where you going? Hey, Drake.
I'm gonna go on mute. So you.
Yeah, I'm just here to regulate, make sure you guys talking right. Everything's cool here.
Oh, you heard something? All right, poor chop. Hey,
do we have
what you got to say though? Anything you
what was that? I didn't hear you.
I say anything you want to say, like, for us, we've been talking about for us, you want to speak to your mind, like what's new in your world, like what it is.
I don't know. I think Chip said it all. I agree with Chip. Most like everything he was saying. Yeah.
So so you agree? You agreeing with him with everything he's saying, like even holding like a rifle in your truck and all this, and a slingshot and everything.
Yeah, I would say you gotta protect yourself, but I don't got one on there because I'm just that people know not to mess with me because I'm like I just get off that energy, that God energy, so they just don't mess with me. So yeah, other people need guns. So yeah, if they need it, then yeah, I'm okay with it. You don't agree to having a gun and protecting yourself?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Because I eat all good and healthy and stuff like that, salmon and all that. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying?
No. Bando got the bombs.
Don't get it twisted, though, don't get it twisted, though. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I like the, you know, I gotta eat, you know. Hey, I let everybody listen. I leave that to everybody else. You know? So, what you waste some milk or something to it? You wasted something, man? You start laughing, you stop laughing. You wasted something or something?
Who, me?
No, the howl in the moon. You, yeah, you.
Yeah, no, somebody gave me something real quick. That's all.
Yeah, you got over happy, huh?
I didn't like it too much. That's all.
Yeah, but man, I totally agree with y'all. But I'm gonna just say this. Pork chop. I mean, when I was telling him, we was talking, and my G was saying that for us to get out the situation, we have to look within ourselves. Not for nobody else to do for us. You know what I'm saying?
That's right there. That's right.
Create your own job, create your own wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because it's I mean, we live in a day and age of technology. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you should be able to make money now. Back then it was real hard, now it's real easy. You go out here and chop a bowl of fruits and make $5,000.
And that's all I was saying too. That's all I was saying too. I'm agreeing with you, Bando.
You make $5,000 in one day. Me and my homeboy then did it. We already done did that. We improved it. I mean, I might have him on here next week to testify that me and him made $5,000 in one day by selling fruits. Yeah, I said it. I mean, it's about your hustle. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's about your hustle. $5,000. You know what? I shouldn't be saying this because I might.
What kind of fruit were you selling?
Bando is full of fronts, man. And I'm not saying because he's just like, he's hustling all the time. We don't even know what he got because he got a front.
I mean, hey, I'm a woman. I might get more fruit. What fruit were you selling?
You just ruined your monopoly, man.
Bando.
What fruit were you selling?
I mean, I
need to get out there.
You gotta have, listen.
With a pretty face.
You got, listen, it's the hustle, it's the mouthpiece. You gotta have all that to go together.
How much were you selling?
You gotta listen. No apples.
Fruit was in a bag. How much you was selling?
We gonna go with the truck.
But I know. Look.
Listen. Now you trying to make me. Now you trying to make me right on myself. Now you trying to get the IRS on me. You work for the pig. Hey, let me.
You know what I've noticed about you, Bando, is that you're covering up some things. You're smart. You're smarter than you like to display yourself.
I mean, you gotta help.
You know what I'm saying?
$5,000.
You know what? You said it. I ain't saying it.
All I gotta do is just go out a day.
I'm just saying. You can play whatever you want, all you want.
What time did you start?
What
time did you end?
I ain't saying you can.
You still.
I ain't saying you can go out there and do that. I ain't saying you could go out there and do it every day. I'm gonna just say it's the right fruits. There's the tropical fruits, there's the pineapples, the mangoes, the strawberries, and once you have that sun.
Oh, that tropical stuff, yeah.
So the price per bag. What's the price per bag?
I ain't saying. Hey, listen, I can't listen. That's just like me on a block telling on myself. Why would I do that? You know what I'm saying?
The block is hot.
Why would I do that? Why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. Can't do it.
I bet you I make more than you.
But like I said though, once you know yourself and once you know your potential, once like Trip would say, once you know your work, you know what I'm saying? Hustle hard.
I'm going self.
Get your growth. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Know your potential, know yourself.
Thank you, Bando.
That's real though, bro. Hey, look. Real stuff, man. Listen.
She is about to leave her career.
Look, real stuff though.
Fruit.
Man, it's so much. She on it fruit, man. Look at y'all ain't gonna stop with these fruits, huh?
No.
So look, like I said,
I'm gonna do the tropical fruits. I'm gonna put in some apples, some oranges. I'm just saying.
I'm doing the wrong thing.
All right, go ahead. I'm not gonna Taylor Swift you no more. Go ahead, Kanye.
So look, it's like what I'm saying is there's ways to make money out here, man. If you want to get out here and get you what it is, a tow truck. You want to get you a tow truck? Go ahead and make some business cards, and a lot of cars need to be towed around. You know what I'm saying? Get out here. You have a whole lot of land. Once you build you some build a nice big ass farm on the side and start doing oil changes on the side of your house or something. But you might have to get some regulation going on, dumping the oil or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But find a way. You know what I'm saying? Don't just be, out here waiting on, the
giving me my money and I'm gonna
give you money. What kind of money giving you?
I don't know. What is it now? It's what is it, $400 a week or some shit? What is it?
You talk about that on the plug. Yeah, I didn't know that was still going on.
Yeah,
I thought they stopped it.
It's coming back, I think. Yeah.
So okay. So if that's coming back,
I'm unemployed. I'm unemployed, so I have to do things to supplement that,
I hope you got some garden going on, growing your fruits.
I sell shoes. I'll sell whatever I need to. Like I said, people need weapons, and I do 100% legal. 100% legally, though. Everything.
Yeah, but it's true. We ain't got nothing to do with you. And you just everything you know what you're doing. You're sober. You know what you're saying right now. Tomorrow we ain't got nothing to do with tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because you sell weapons and stuff like that. Mass destruction.
No, nothing mass destruction.
No, weapons of mass destruction. We were positive here.
That's what they try to. But that's what they're trying to say that all weapons are right now. And that's the thing. That's why a part of me is because what I believe in about, defending yourself, I want Trump to win on that aspect, right? But you got, a Biden who wants to take away the guns. And I'm like, man. But I also don't want a guy that sits there and says, well, more white people are killed by cops. That number is true, but it's not necessarily true in terms of there's 250 million white people and there's only 40 million, but they should be 5 times more killings if it's equal. Than there's 330 white people that are killed and 312 black people that are killed. There's more, but it's not right.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Yep. I was talking about that earlier. Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. I just want to help educate. So I'm glad y'all do this because when people get to go through, right? We saw one dude just drop in there and start talking that shit, that racist shit, putting everything on black people. But I think that more.
That's definitely what the platform for, man. Was new in your world and come out here and express yourself, and not only just express yourself. Like if you got anything you're trying to promote on something coming
up, we can go
like
deep, bro.
Business.
We can go deep whenever. You know what I mean? And we could expand the minds, like on some serious. You talk weird ass hours just on some weird shit. Space and physics and shit.
We've actually been on now for about 1 hour and 40 minutes, so we're gonna wrap it up though. We would love to have you if you want to come back next show. It's the thing about this topic is it can't be talked about in the short amount of time that we talk, and we're saying short. And even though it's 1 hour and 30 minutes, it's so much to be said. And it's so many different point of views based off of these very touchy and controversial topics. But at some point, it has to be talked about because I was one of those persons when I looked at the Black Lives Matter movement. I looked at it as being positive until all of the rioting and everything else was started. And then, looking at the other aspects of it, the Antifa and all of this and that. It's so much information that's out there, and it's sometimes people don't know how to decipher what is truth or what is fact from fiction. So I think it kind of helps that we put platforms like this to all base our opinions and kind of clear up any misunderstandings that we may have or even misinformation that's being received, because there's a lot of information.
There's definitely a real world or a real war going on out there.
Absolutely.
Right now.
That's exactly what it is.
So I mean, you know, make sure y'all share. You know what I'm saying? Share the show, and you know, get y'all, you know, your people that's following y'all that's tuning in, and let them know what's going on.
Yeah, just give me some topics. And Bando, just hit me up, and like how you did tonight. Like I saw the Candace Owens video real quick and shit. Like hit me up, and I'll write some stuff down with it, like my opinion or whatever. And I'll opinion.
No problem, man. Yeah, like I said, y'all just come through, man. Whenever you know y'all got some, you know, throwing an event for yourself, or you know, y'all want to come on a platform and promote. I mean, like I said, it's not just for you know, just to talk about what's going on in the world. It's also talking about what you got coming up in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the platform also.
What's new in your world?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this show we just was talking about, you know, politics and stuff like that, which, you know, is getting close to that election time, so we'll probably be talking about politics a little bit more. You know, on the show. I can't say who I'm gonna vote for because I'm like in the middle. It's like I don't know. They got so much that's going on. But like I said, we could say that for another show. Bando, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Dre, who you voting for?
Who? Me?
No, Dre.
Oh, Dre?
Nah, I chose not to vote this year. I don't see nobody I want to vote for.
That boy going celibate.
That's the wrong
You going
answer,
celibate?
Dre. You gotta vote.
What? We can't. I don't know. But if Dre votes for Trump, then he's not black. You know what I'm saying?
But what if my choice was between dog shit and cat shit? Why would I pick a shit to step in?
The cat shit might be a little cleaner. You know,
Well, look,
like a crunchy.
Or if I can either do that or walk on the sidewalk. I can just walk on the sidewalk and go by my way. And
it's not even gonna matter. This country's going to hell. It's past the tipping point.
Well, look. Well, I'm gonna say this though. Anybody, my G, you got anything you want to say to young you before we, you know, get on?
You wanted to say something before we end it to represent your generation. I keep forgetting. What's this generation again?
Z.
He is Z.
Millennial. The Y or millennial.
I'm a millennial. We millennials. What do you mean?
I thought we were the millennium. I thought you was the Z.
Millennials. Are y'all in the 80s?
Yeah.
My G. No, my G.
He is a Z.
Yeah, he's a Z. Yeah, I thought
he's a zennial.
95.
He's a Z.
Okay. Zennial.
Let's go all the way up to 95, 1980.
The Z generation. Anything?
So okay, Malik, what you got? You got anything you want to say to the to the Z generation, man? That you want, deliver the message, man? Because I know you got it in you, man.
I don't think I have anything I want to say. Just not.
That nigga say, bro, why you put me on a fucking spot like this, dog? I wasn't ready for it. You know what I'm saying?
It's just I gotta think about it.
Who's talking right now?
He had said
that.
Who's talking right now? I don't even see him.
He actually had some things to say about reparations, but he's like, we passed the subject.
We need reparations. We need reparations.
I know that's gonna be a whole other hour. We start talking about this, but he feels that we've already received it and that we should.
No!
I told you. We're gonna save that for next show because I agree with you. I don't feel like that. I feel we should. If it's deserved, we should.
I'm gonna come with the points on that one for y'all. I'm gonna come with the points on that one.
Fall out of ship.
You guys, can I see? And this is where it's like a generational thing, It's really funny.
We have two different minds. We're gonna definitely save that for next show because it's a good topic. That's I'm like, why you didn't bring it up? But it's a good topic because I completely disagree with him. Completely. He's like, what we gonna do with the money? What you mean? What we
That's a whole. Remember, I said we could build casinos and things like that.
Well, he thinking about casinos. He thinking about casinos.
I'm just saying. I'm thinking of different ways to keep that money building, rather than doing what Dave Chappelle said we would just go buy a whole bunch of 40s and what else did he say we would buy? Everybody would have a label and there'd be so many.
He was clowning so hard.
I'm just saying. There's a reason why he made the joke, though. You know what I'm saying?
He clowned really hard about some facts too, though.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, a lot of us get those.
But no, I don't agree with him on the 40s. Don't get me wrong.
But I'm saying we get the checks every year. Okay, Donald Trump just gave us all the checks that he personally signed, right? So, what did everybody do with that money to invest in themselves?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we need some type of education to go along with that reparation. But I'm gonna hit you with.
I agree with
we
that
coming.
too. Right, because I have.
Yeah, but that goes with both parties because none of the parties have helped in education for anyone. It's still at the same rate. There is now the innovators who have created apps and have gotten together for online learning to be available so that we can actually activate our innovative and creative sides. We are all multidimensional people. You know what I'm saying? And this is the time to do it.
Okay.
Once again.
Well, I'm going to leave y'all to close out y'all show.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Until next time, I'm going to write down those spots.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. We enjoyed you.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Oh, wait.
Wait.
Do your thing, man.
What you got to say? What's up?
Oh no, I was saying. I want to say nothing.
Look, I'm gonna just say, look, man. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, tough things going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? And I want y'all to stay up there, like I always say. You know, you call your loved ones, you let them know, like you love them, and a person that you got a grudge with. Anybody, you feel that you had beef from yesterday, you need to squash that because life is too short. You don't want to go and be like, damn, I should have told her I'm sorry. I should have called her. I should have, you know what, man? Maybe I should have, just, helped her out to feed the dog or the fish or the catfish or, you know what I'm saying? And, I'm just being serious when I say these things because everything, all lives matter, you know what I'm saying? Not just human lives matter, but animals' lives matter too as well. Just don't feed the fish, you know what I'm saying? Had a fish doesn't look like you see his scales and all that. Feed the fish, you know what I'm saying? Because all lives matter. Not no joking, but that's serious though. Even though you eat, want you give back as well, you know what I'm saying? But
all lives matter. We'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll let y'all.
Peace and blessings, y'all.
Bye.